Mm. Streaming live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. This is number 34 of Table Talk. I am Mo Lightning. Your comments, your questions, your reactions, very much welcome, as you know. And if you're watching this later on, well, you're missing out on live. So make sure to follow us at Wrestling Audio so you know when we go live. To my left is usually a young lady, but today it's Old Man Baby, the WWE Hall of Famer, Dvon. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm just relaxing and waiting for our special guests.
Yes, absolutely. And below Dvon, not in rank, only by physicality on screen right now, Lindsey with an E. Lindsey, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing great. So great.
Excellent.
Excited. Really excited.
And of course, probably one of our most anticipated guests we've ever had on Table Talk. 5 Feet of Fury, Little Miss Bliss, former champion of everything, including our hearts, Alexa Bliss. Welcome.
Yes. And I shall say my favorite.
Oh,
thanks.
He says that to all the guests.
No, I don't either. I only say it to her.
Okay. All right. So Alexa, I have to ask, Dvon talks about getting invited to your bedroom a lot. Do you care to explain that to us?
Are you killing me?
So
A lot.
no. So what had happened was, so I have this amazing massage chair that's just unbelievable. They have them at like charity golf tournaments. A lot of our friends have them. And Ryan got one. And when I tried his massage chair, I was like, oh my God, this thing is amazing. It massages your neck, your head, the tips of your fingers, the body stretch you. And for like everything that, we do in the ring, I was like, this is the most amazing thing ever. And I was talking to Dvon at TVs. I was like, I just got this massage chair because I was posting about it. He's like, what contraption you're sitting in? I'm like, it's this amazing massage chair. It literally has like 40 different settings and different massages and stretching. And I was like, you got to come try it out. And he sat in that thing for like almost an hour.
Listen, we were having conversations, and you know how you listen to people talk, but you're not comprehending because you're somewhere else. Yeah, she's sitting there talking to me, and I'm just all I hear is wah 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 wah. That chair. Oh my God, I'm sitting up there, and I'm like in heaven. It was like one of the greatest chairs I think I've ever felt. And next to some of the massages that I've gotten over the years, just that chair alone was the best massage I ever had. And that was by a machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan lives in that. He never gets out of it. He's obsessed.
Now, Mo, you have to be very, very careful when you say things like that, because here's the deal. Alexa Bliss has the craziest fans I think I've ever seen on social media. It's so bad. What a lot of fans don't realize, Alexa Bliss fans, is that Alexa and I are very, very good friends.
Yeah.
And we talk all the time. So when Alexa puts something on her Instagram, I'll say, hey, love the match, or hey, Alexa, you look great, or hey, whatever. I get, Dvon, you're so thirsty. Oh, stop it. Oh, leave her alone. You're like a teenage kid. And I'm like, well, thank you for the teenage kid part. I even had a death threat by one of her fans. Yeah. One guy threatened because me and her took a picture. I forget where it was, and we posted it, and the guy freaking went off. He went, F you, Dvon. If I ever see you, I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to kill you dead. You better leave my Lexi alone. And I just went, wow. I said, Lexi, you have very, very committed fans.
They're very passionate. It's funny, too, because there's times where Dvon, hey, look out, I'm getting ready to comment on your Instagram post, so just keep your eyes open for the comments. And then he'll post them, and then just boom, people just like go after him like crazy. That's actually, we find it entertaining, but
yes, we do. Now, Lex, go ahead, Mo.
I was gonna say, like, why do you think that is? Why do you think your fans are a bit more aggressive or passionate than others?
I don't know. I feel like sometimes with WWE, with our characters and everything like that, people think that I really am this mean, just bratty, stuck up girl, and they think they know our lives based on our WWE characters and personas and everything like that, and they just feel very passionate about their opinions on our real lives, and sometimes it can cross the line, but it's better to have people so passionate than people not care about you at all, and that's kind of how I see it.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Happy belated birthday, by the way. That was what, just 2 days ago, right?
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Birthday.
Happy birthday. I've been in this little bubble for the past couple of days now, just freaking trying to get my head together, trying to get ready for the next TV, so it's been crazy, and I cannot believe I forgot. I'm so sorry. I'm
No,
so sorry.
Oh man. Can't believe you.
Yeah, shut up, Lindsay.
on my birthday, but I thought you did. So if you texted me on my birthday and you were good.
And I'm good. I had it.
That's
Now,
good.
Lexi, I'm gonna ask you. Now, you weren't always, into professional wrestling. Of course, you basically came your background as a gymnastics.
Yeah.
Is that
Oh.
correct?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So growing up, my whole family were and are diehard WWE fans. My grandparents, my cousins, my aunts, all my cousins, all hundreds of them, are just huge diehard WWE fans. And I remember every Monday we'd get Donato's Pizza, we'd watch Monday Night Raw. And my cousins, Lindsey and Keith, always thought they were the Hardy Boys. And everyone, it was like this family thing. Now, I wasn't really allowed to watch WWE in the Attitude Era because I tried telling my mother to suck it. So I was not watch it at home, but I would watch it at my grandma's house. And I grew up in gymnastics and cheerleading and everything like that, and kickboxing, bodybuilding, softball, just a bunch of athletics. And when I was doing bodybuilding after college, my trainer told me that WWE was having tryouts, and I was like, oh heck yeah, I'm totally, like, I definitely want to try out for that, because I knew it was an opportunity I didn't want to pass up. Was I as diehard fans of my cousins? No, but I genuinely loved watching the product. I loved watching Trish Stratus, Rey Mysterio, because Rey has his lucha style of wrestling, and it reminded me of the things I was doing in gymnastics. So I always gravitated towards Rey and towards Trish, because who wouldn't? And yeah, I loved the soap opera of it all, and it was just and I loved watching my grandma get all riled up when people would, and just she still calls me to this day and asks, what really happened there? Like, are you really dating Braun Strowman? Like, because we were a couple of years ago, and it was just a lot of fun.
Very good. Well, I got to think of it this way. Maybe if I didn't decide to jump right into professional wrestling, maybe I should have had my hand in gymnastics, and it probably would have been a different outcome. I might have been still wrestling today. You never know. You never know. Never know.
I think although you can still go. You got yeah.
Lex. Let's not listen. No.
Thank you.
No, look, these two have been trying to tell me that I'm not retired. I am retired. Although I might can still go, I'm done.
No. You're retired. I'm saying it's only a matter of time before you Terry Funk the situation and you're out of retirement.
Exactly.
Oh, Mo, we're not talking to you anymore during this podcast.
Okay, that's fair. I already know I'm going to disappoint you with what I have next anyway, so it's okay.
Okay, so by all means, go ahead. I'm ready for it.
No, so with Alexa's birthday, you got what? Some shares of Disney? You got some stocks this week? I mean, you're taking over, right?
Oh, I had the best birthday weekend, even though it was during COVID and quarantine and really, weird times right now. I had the best birthday. I had a drag queen come to my house to perform private because I love drag. I had boyfriend rented out a theater, and just for like 10 of us, because we have to keep everything small with COVID, to go see The Greatest Showman. And then his friend got us both for our birthdays shares in Disney, and we got the plaque and everything, and it was like so cool. I'm like, this is the coolest birthday ever, let alone like during COVID. It's awesome.
Well, that's good to know.
That's amazing. That's birthday goals right there.
So you're a big Disney fan. That's known. That's common knowledge. Do you go around to like look at the other superstars and determine which Disney character they would be?
No, I've actually never done that. I've never even thought to do that, but now I might have to, because I've never thought to do that.
Okay, because I wanted to kickstart this conversation by giving my suggestion for who Dvon should be.
Oh, here we go. How did I know this was coming?
Because I do this to you every week somehow, and this is the thing of nightmares. All right, I want to get Alexa's thoughts on Yvonne.
Oh,
yes.
Really? Do I even remotely look like that?
No, you kind of act like him. You kind of mope around.
I was.
Thanks for noticing me.
Yvonne, that's like real positive, and I'm the one that's freaking out about something.
So what do you think? Do you think Yvonne's a good star? Yvonne, get the tables.
I think it's actually quite hilarious.
Yvonne, find your tail.
Listen, it's Alexa. There was a story. We're in Canada, and Alexa got pulled over, and she was very frustrated. The cop was giving her a hard time.
For my too high on my neck, like, and I light, and I was like so mad, and I was like, okay, let me just grow a foot. And it was like, where are you going? I had to pull this card because I was already so. I was like, that billboard right there, that's my face on it. I'm going to that building. I had to pull that card because he was making me so mad. And he was like, well, here in Canada, the seatbelt has to hit you here, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I was trying to be really respectful. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Like, he's like, well, you should probably accustom yourself to Canada before coming here. And I was like, oh, heck no. And then I went to the show. I was like, Dvon. And then, but here's the thing. So when I got to the show, there was other two cops there. And I was like, I got to the show and I was like, why are those cops so mean? And they were like, did you get pulled over like right over here? We're like, yeah. And they're like, oh, that's Doug. He's an a-hole. Like, okay, so it's cool. And that's when me and Dvon bonded. And I like got into the show and he could tell I was fired up. I was like, Dvon, let's talk. Because I was just so mad. Like, this guy like literally stopped me at a red light to tell me that my seatbelt wasn't sitting like low enough on my body. And I was just like, that is so rude. And then he's like, and then I was like, well, I had to wear it if I didn't wear it. And he's like, yeah, I guess how much it is a ticket if you're not wearing your seatbelt. Just guess. And I was like, guessing game. And he's like, no, just guess. And he was like, $400. Like, okay. Like, he was just giving me a hard time. And I was so mad, and I had to go vent to Dvon. I was so mad.
The great part about it is, I'm trying to get the show together, and she went, Dvon. I went, Alexa. She goes, in the office now. I went, am I in trouble? She goes, we need to talk. I need to vent. And we went in there and she started venting. And like she said, from that moment on, we had bonded and everything was great from that point on. So therefore, I am the guy that when Alexa gets upset or what have you, she can come to me, let out all her aggression, and then she leaves and it's like, boom. I'm like her Dr. Phil.
Yeah. Oh,
great.
Are you the Bliss whisperer?
Possibility.
I'm like, it's like I gotta go vent, and then when I'm like, you're like, so what's up? What's new with you? Because TV days are so hectic that sometimes you're just like, you know what? I just need an ounce of like normalcy for a second. How are you? And like, great.
Yeah.
Now let me.
Jared agrees. Jared agrees. You could be a bit of a moper.
Oh, Gerald, listen, Jared, you're behind is going through a table if I ever see you. Remember that. Alexa, let me ask you a question. You got stock in Disney. I also know from personal experience that you are a huge fan of Starbucks. You don't go anywhere without Starbucks coffee. It's been shown on TV. You and NIKKI CROSS, you both have your cups when you're doing your talk show on the show. Can we see a Starbucks in your future?
I could have my own coffee place, that would be amazing. So I already have the logo there. It's on my coffee merch, the Twisted Bliss coffee. And it's actually really funny how that even came about, because the coffee thing wasn't supposed to be a thing. It was literally just, they were like, okay, you have a talk show. What would you like to do? Like, if you were running your own talk show, what would you have? I was like, oh, I just have like coffee, or like, you know, something, or a cool microphone, coffee, whatever, hanging out. And then there was a match where I wasn't in the match. I was standing ringside, but I was supposed to look disinterested in the match. So I just randomly, I looked at my coffee and I brought it with me, and then I just like, whatever, and I just drank it ringside. And I was thinking in my head, well, Vince is either gonna love this or I'm gonna get in so much trouble for this. But he ended up loving it. And then the next day they like sent me coffee logos. They're like, hey, you're gonna have coffee merch. It's gonna be a thing. I found it hilarious. Took my coffee with me, just drank coffee ringside the whole time. I was like, hey, I'll do it.
That's great. And listen, anybody that can do a gimmick like that, it's got to be great. I love it. Love it.
It's so fun. Thank you.
Now, this is something I want to touch on, that Donna Doll 66 points out. You've helped a lot with body image and depression. How does it feel when people admit that you've changed their life?
That always is amazing, because, you know, when someone struggles with any kind of mental issue, whether it's anxiety, depression, body image issues, it's hard to share that story with someone. You know, I had dealt with mine for about 8 years after I even talked about it. So the fact that people feel comfortable, one, telling me about their issues that they struggled with and their obstacles that they've overcome, and to say that I've helped them with that, it makes it so amazingly worth sharing my story, because I was never even going to talk about it. Like, it wasn't even going to be a thing I would ever bring up, talk about, but I am so glad that I did, because the amount of people that have reached out and said, hey, I've dealt with this too, and because of your story, it's helped me. And that's what I wish I had when I was going through that. When I was, you know, in the hospital, when I was seeing psychiatrists, psychologists, like all these different doctors, like, I wish I had someone that I could look up to and be like, hey, they went through this and they didn't let it define them, and they came out on the other end okay. And so that's all I really want to be for people, is someone that to show you, hey, you can get through it. It's not going to be easy, but you can do it, because if I could do it, they could do it. And when someone tells you that my stories help them, it literally means the world to me.
That's great. I absolutely love that. I do a lot of speeches and a lot of live talks at suicide prevention rallies and whatnot. And I understand it's not easy telling the story, but the connection, the bond that you can grow with somebody when you share those stories is something that really does last forever.
Oh, 100%.
Now, Alexa, another question from someone, and they wanted to know, what has been the highlight of your career so far? I mean, again, you're just starting, no question about it, and you've already accomplished so many great things. But what right now sticks out in your mind as being the highlight of your career?
Besides getting to hang out with Dvon, I
yes.
What?
Ding, ding, ding.
There's been so many amazing moments. That's the hard part, is, you know, I've been very fortunate with the opportunities that I've had with WWE. And, you know, I was able to be champion in 2 WrestleManias. My first and second, got to host WrestleMania. There's been a lot of, sorry, I have dogs. There's been a lot of firsts that I've been able to do in the company. Sorry, I know that's so loud on y'all's end.
It happens a lot here.
I've got...
Yeah, Lindsey
My dog does it all the time.
I don't know. I think every moment is like the height of my career, because with WWE, you don't know if those opportunities are ever going to come back. So anytime that opportunity presents itself, you have to, you know, take advantage of it and treat it like the height of your career. And I think that's kind of how I view it.
What about outfits? You know, you've had a lot of great geek outfits. I don't think many people could pull off a Buzz Lightyear inspired wrestling attire, but
the laser.
So cool.
whole match. I was like, if I do anything at all in this match, just let me hit the laser on someone. And Billy Kay was like, heck yeah. And so I pulled out the laser, and from what I've heard backstage, apparently people were like, what is she doing? And someone on the overhead was like, oh, she's being Buzz Lightyear. And I found it very funny, and apparently some people did not, but I found it fun and entertaining. But yeah, I love the outfits. I love the Buzz Lightyear was one of my first actual Disney ones I did. I love all the cosplay ones. I think my favorite though is Freddy Krueger. That was my favorite, and Iron Man, and Harley Quinn, obviously. But yeah, I'd say Buzz Lightyear is definitely up there, especially with the jacket. It's so cool.
Is this true? That no, not this one. This one. It's actually been exactly a year today since you did the laser.
Is it? Oh my gosh, I don't know that. Yeah, because SummerSlam's coming back up again. Yeah. Heck yeah.
So what's next then? What's like? You don't want to spoil all your plans, but is there a character that you got your eye on that you want to do?
Yes.
Okay.
But this one I'm hoping to involve NIKKI CROSS with, because we've cosplay together. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it goes through and that we can do that, because with all those outfits, you have to get them approved. You have to get them, through channels for legal and everything like that. So you're not, infringing on any copyright and everything like that. So everything is inspired by outfits instead of cosplay-ish. But, hopefully it goes through and you'll be able to see it soon.
Have you had any issues? Like, have you gone through hurdles to get one approved?
Yes, my Riddler gear in WrestleMania in Orlando. That was the second gear made that I wore at WrestleMania 4 days before WrestleMania. My gear, they were like, nope, it's too similar to Riddler. You can't do it. So then my gear guy, bless his heart, do my entire gear, and then he added question marks and exclamation points, but the dots on the question marks and exclamation points were a cutout of my logo. So it made it different enough as well. And we just reversed the colors. So we had to completely redo it all. And that was anxiety of being here for WrestleMania 4 days before. But he was able to get it all worked out.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Have a question from Brian about what's one thing that you would like to accomplish that you have not done yet in this industry?
I think that's one thing I would love to do is main event WrestleMania. Our women in Women's Evolution have done amazing things, and it was a great accomplishment for every woman in the company for the women to main event WrestleMania. But I think it's time to have more women as the main events, and see how that goes. Especially,
I love it. I love that. That's great.
I stole this from do this to each other all the time. We always so I actually did it. The first time I did it in the ring was to make her laugh because I knew she was watching, and then it just became a thing because we always look at each other and we always go, "I'm a pretty princess," and that's. And so I completely,
We got Lindsey doing it all the time on the show.
I do it a lot.
So
I must
great.
be Dvon is a pretty princess, so I do it for him.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. This is great. Oh, you're so sweet, Lindsey. Thank you.
Oh, I try.
Wow. Okay. This got awkward real quick. All right.
What? No.
Well, Lexa, I mean, again, we can't begin to thank you enough on being on the show and, really, really just being a part of Table Talk. And I've been wanting to ask you to be on the show for the longest, but I have to say, I did have a little cold feet. And although we were talking about everything, I don't know. I was just like, gosh, she may not want to be on the show. And then finally I got the
massage chair. You should be able to do a show.
My plan. I was going to ask you when I was in the massage chair, and then of course the memory just went blank, and I just lost it. But one of the great things, about having you on the show is that now all the people that said I'm thirsty for you, And all the people that sat there and gave me death threats because you and I took pictures together and put on your Instagram, now they know the truth. So back off, people. She belongs to
Right.
Dvon Dudley and the Dudley family. So
Yeah.
there, yeah. See how many death threats I get now.
Ooh,
Yeah.
this will be fun.
Yeah, of course, we actually have your friend Nikki Cross joining the show here momentarily. Is there any embarrassing stories or anything that we can share right now to set the tone?
Of Nikki? Or
Yeah,
Nikki?
yeah. Or Dvon, really, I guess.
Well, Nikki, there's ask her about the time when or do you just want me to tell the story?
No, just tell the story. We'll get her take on it.
So there was a time we were all hi Betty. There was a time where we were we were sitting in the ring before Raw or SmackDown or something, and we're all sitting there, thinking about the match and what we're gonna do. And someone said something like, "Oh yeah," or Fit Finlay was like, "We just got to keep things rolling," and Nikki just goes, "Oh, keep rolling," and like no one sold it. No one like 5 people just looked at her and then just went back to what they were doing, and I just looked at her and started dying laughing, and she just goes, "Keep rolling," and looks, and no one reacts. She just goes.
And you've got to know Nikki. It's great.
It's
Sometimes she just come off the wall stuff.
Yes.
It's phenomenal.
It's so good. It was just I was sitting there just deep in thought, and she just goes, "Oh, keep rolling," and then I just look and I laughed for her, and she just goes, "Thank you for laughing at me." It's all for those there things.
Yeah. That was something I would do anyway, so I get it.
Well, Lexi, before we let you go, I just got one question I want to ask you. I know recently we just saw you on TV, and we saw the Fiend come
Yes.
behind it. I need to know, and I'm sure a lot of fans want to know what type of fear went through your body when you turned around and saw him behind you. Is it like a Jason, Voorhees moment, Michael Myers? I mean, that's what it felt like. We really felt for you that day.
It's a fear of being frozen, of not being able to react. When you're so afraid of something that you don't even know how to scream or how to breathe properly even, and you just kind of freeze up. That's what it's like. I mean, that mask itself and the lantern is terrifying. And then to have the Fiend, standing behind you, not even being able to see him at first. That's terrifying. But yeah, it was definitely a frozen type of fear.
Well, I mean, listen, I got to say, I love you to death, and you know this, but better you than me, because Lord knows I wouldn't want the Fiend behind me. So I'm just letting you know that right now.
Yeah.
But again, thank you so much. And I know you got to go, but thank you for joining Table Talk. And, again, much success from you from this point on throughout your career. I think you could do this for another 30, 40 years. I'm hoping that's the case because I cannot get enough of Alexa Bliss.
Oh,
And I'm sure the fans feel the same way.
I appreciate it.
Oh, you're my favorite.
Thank you so much. Okay, cool.
Thank you to Alexa, and now here to defend herself, Nikki Cross, everybody.
Nikki.
Welcome.
Hey, Nikki, I just got one thing for you.
Testify, baby.
Keep rolling.
I should have known you would tell the story. I should have known. It came up. I should have known that story was coming up. It's pretty much whatever she said. It's pretty much exactly how it happened. I was just very grateful that I had a partner in crime to soak up the social awkwardness of the moment. And yeah, it's exactly how she said it. So that's why we just keep rolling, keep rolling. Or if you're a fan of Clueless, it would be rolling with my homies. I don't know if anyone's seen Clueless is one of the best movies I've
We
watched.
actually just watched it the other day. It's on Netflix now.
Well, you just became best friends with Lindsey. If
sure.
you need a new one.
Honestly, Clueless is just I wanted that wardrobe so badly when I was like 11 years old. I mean, it would be I probably needed to wait till I was a bit older to wear some of that stuff, but I was. And then the other day on TV, they were showing Miss Congeniality, and then they showed Legally Blonde, and I was like, I am
all the good ones
right now.
Everybody's saying hi to Nikki. I got to unmute Dvon's microphone there. Sorry about that, bud.
Yeah, it just mutes me for no reason. I don't understand it. Me and Mo is gonna have to have some talks after this show.
Dvon, let the mascot deal with this. Let the mascot deal with this.
Yes. See, Mo, what you forget, what you're not understanding is stop doing that, Mo. What you fail to understand is that Nikki is a part of Dudleyville. Nikki is the long lost sister of Bubba Ray and Dvon and the rest of the Dudley Boy clan. So see, Nikki has been around. We just found out. We found document footage and photos that link Nikki to the Dudleys. And we all thought that it was Stacy Keibler. It wasn't Stacy Keibler. It was Nikki. Nikki had been a part of the Dudley clan for the longest, and we never knew it.
And the thing is, Stacy can remain the Duchess of Dudleyville. I will be the mascot of Dudleyville. I'm the mascot.
Hey, listen, as long as you can keep rolling, we good.
Oh, I knew I should have known she was going to tell the story.
Yeah, I appreciate a good Limp Bizkit reference. So I thank you for that.
Honestly, do you know what it was? I think it was WrestleMania 17, and I believe it was The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, WrestleMania, and they had the big Limp Bizkit My Way package, and that was the song that introduced me to Limp Bizkit. My Way, and then rolling.
Well, speaking of WrestleManias, let me ask you a question. Growing up in England, and I know you during the Attitude Era, I know you and I've talked numerous times, and you've watched the show back then, and that's why one of the reasons why you're in the business now. What would be one of your favorite matches of all time? But what would be, say, one of the greatest WrestleManias that you've ever seen?
Oh, now Dvon.
Yes.
Dvon. So, I grew up in Glasgow, Scotland, so I was just right next to England. But we, were on the same time zone. So I would remember waiting. It would be 1 a.m. because of the time difference, because of America East Coast time. So it would be like 8 o'clock in America, 1 o'clock in the UK. And it would be, you're just like, I was 10 years old, 11, 12 years old, and I'm drinking coffee just to stay awake at 11 years old, just so that I could stay up and watch the pay-per-view. And WrestleMania was always the best, the biggest. Being able to compete and open this year's WrestleMania was a dream come true with Lexi against the Kabuki Warriors, who's, such an amazing team. So that's obviously my own personal, selfish, individual highlight. And for myself watching WrestleMania, let's see. There's so many. I think the WrestleMania where you had Daniel Bryan and Triple H kick off the show, and then it ended with Daniel Bryan winning the big main event, the big championship match. I believe it was in New Orleans. Someone will have to remind me of the year because I'm silly. But I think that's probably my favorite WrestleMania. But then last year's was you had Becky, and then you had Kofi Mania and Becky Mania. Like last year was awesome too, and that was my first WrestleMania. So, but then 17 was still a good one. Oh, can't do it. I can't think of it down, Dvon.
Well, WrestleMania 17 was voted probably to this day one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. And of course, the Dudleys, Edge and Christian, and the Hardys with the TLC match, which stole the show. There you go, Mo. Roll your eyes. There you go, baby. There you go, baby.
When you're Dvon Dudley,
God, I love her. She puts me over when nobody else will. I love her. I love her. Love
think
it.
was it the SummerSlam? Was it the WrestleMania TLC where Lita came out and you guys gave her the 3D?
That was 17.
That was 7. Oh my,
That was WrestleMania 17, and then right before that was I believe it was SummerSlam, which was the first TLC.
yeah.
So, but
Big
good,
Paul.
yes, good times, good
Look,
times.
Team 3D.
So what part of Dudleyville were you from? Were you like from the right side of the tracks of Dudleyville? I wanted to ask that earlier.
East Side. The
East,
East
okay.
Side. The East Side. What do you think, Dave? I think the East Side.
I think the East Side.
Sounds like I'm from the East.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm from the south side of Dudleyville. Bubba was from the north side of Dudleyville. Big Daddy Dudley watched Deliverance once too many times and out came Bubba. So it's one
Where
of
was
those
Spike
things.
from? Where was Spike from?
Well, what happened with Spike was when Big Daddy Dudley and his mother got together, they did a lot of LSD. So yeah. So Spike was born, and the rest is history.
It's a legit question. How many parts are there of Dudleyville? Is there like a tram system, a bus system?
There's a bunch.
Is it like the Wizard of Oz? So you've got the north, like the Good Witch of the North, the Good Witch of the South, the Wicked Witch of the West, the Wicked Witch of the East. Have you got Munchkin Land? Clearly, I would be the Munchkin.
No,
like
you would
Wizard
be.
of Oz?
You would be the giant killer. You are the giant killer. Sweetheart, I've seen you in that ring. I've seen you do what you do. You are a firecracker. You are ready to go. And that's the one thing I think, not only myself, but I think everybody that watches WWE and wrestling in general, when they see you, that's what they love about it. You bring a certain energy that a lot of people can't do. And it's not something you can teach. It's something that's in here. So when you made the reference about you drinking coffee at the age of 11, I think now I understand why you're so ready to go.
It's explained. I mean, Dvon, I'm going to put my glasses on for a second.
Please do.
It's scientific fact.
I love it.
Science.
I love it.
It's
I love
chemistry,
it.
it's biology, it's physics, it's galactical partials, it's molecules.
Everything.
I tell you,
can
I
tell
love
my
her.
favorite subject was in school.
I love it. She's great. This is one of the reasons why I wanted her on the show. I'm telling you, you cannot help but smile when Nikki's on the show.
I mean, honestly, I appreciate that, and thank you very much, Dvon. You're probably giving me too much credit. You're probably being far too kind. I would suggest, though, I wouldn't want to see me at 4 a.m. or 5 or 6 a.m. before having coffee. That is a dark Nikki. That's a miserable Nikki. That's a grouchy Nikki. That's the Grinch. That's the Wicked Witch of the West. It's evil. It's evil. It's evil, guys. It's evil, guys. It's just evil. I do not recommend them.
I don't believe that at all. Mo, Lindsey, I don't believe that at all. There's no way that NIKKI CROSS can be evil. There's no way she could be down. There's no way. I'm sorry.
I like the idea of Dark Nikki, though, and especially with Alexa's fascination and obsession with coffee. Therein lies a very natural feud right there.
I mean, and I love horror movies, and one of the things that me and Lex always talk about is like our love of horror movies. So we do love horror movies. So a dark Nikki would be like Scream, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween. I Know What You Did Last Summer, the Friday the 13th, Swamp, Creature, Poltergeist Day, Exorcist Day. It would just be evil.
I think Dvon would love that.
Oh, everything except The Exorcist. No Exorcist.
That is a terrifying movie, to be fair. That scares me. Even now, I can't really sit through it, start to finish. Like, I love horror movies, but it's the one movie that I can't really sit through to this day.
Mm-hmm. See, I'm not the only one.
Do you keep up with the horror movies? Do you try to watch the new ones as they come out, or with your schedule, is it too hard to keep up?
No, I try my best. I really try. Because I actually watched Scream 4 yesterday. I don't know if you guys like the Scream franchise, but watched Scream 4 yesterday. I Actually, my husband will laugh because I used to go out of my way to watch really, really, really bad horror movies, like not even B plus. I mean, we're talking like EFGHIJK, like really bad horror movies. And then as I got older, I think I got more what's the word, Dvon? Snobby. I think I got more snobby in my taste in horror movies. It rose up. You know, it may have been the partnership with Alexa too, you know, just made me more classy. You know, classy lady, classy Nikki. So my taste in horror movies has definitely changed, but my love for the genre is still alive and well. So I try and watch what I can. Although apparently there's an app called Shutter or Shudder.
Yep.
Shudder, yes.
And I keep getting told by Dozer to like download it because he's like, you're a horror fan. How do you not have this app? And I was like,
yeah,
I don't even know what half the apps in my phone are for. And you're asking me to download another app? I don't know. It's just a lot of commitment. Like,
what is your all-time favorite horror movie? If you had to pick one and one only, what is it?
So if you asked me this 5 years ago, it'd been Nightmare on Elm Street, the original, easily. And then for a while it was Halloween original, obviously. But then I watched Scream 4 last night, and then I started to appreciate that Scream on its own. Okay, I wouldn't put it up there with Halloween or Nightmare on Elm Street, but the franchise and what it represents, and the heroine of Sidney Prescott, I'm like, right now I'm going to say Scream. I'm going to say Scream. The Scream franchise.
So you're excited for the 5th Scream movie that was announced recently?
Oh my God, let me tell you something. I lost my mind. I literally screamed, and my husband thought there was something wrong. So he comes running downstairs being like, what's wrong? And I was, oh my God, there's going to be a Scream 5. And I got so emotional because I thought they weren't going to do it anymore. Like they'd shelved the plans. So hearing that they were going to do it and they were like super motivated about it, and hearing like, you know, Courtney Cox be so excited about it, I was just like, well, if Courtney Cox is excited, then NIKKI CROSS needs to be excited. Simple as that.
Now, Nikki, let me ask you a question. Your love for horror movies, which you've just expressed, would you say that's a little bit of your persona in the ring? Would you say that that's a little bit of you? Because, you know, when you think of somebody's love for something, especially in the wrestling business, you can always, you know, attest to that a little bit of that personality comes out of them when they're in the ring. Would you say that'd be the same for you with horror movies?
You know, I can see that because, you know, when you think of a horror movie, it can be, you know, it can be funny. It can have little bits of fun. It can be a little bit lighthearted like the Scream movies do. But it also has moments of like genuine, like, you know, fear. And, you know, sometimes when I get angry and feisty, like it can, you know, I've been told it can be a little bit frightful and frightened and frightful. I don't know the word. Fearful, right? And then, you know, and at the end of the day, though, a lot of horror movies are about, you know, survival and staying strong and persevering, whatever. You know, so I feel that, you know, I would be the Sidney Prescott, you know, I would be the Jamie Lee Curtis, you know. So yeah, do you know what? That's actually a good comparison, Dvon. I like that.
Well, the reason why I say that is because you mentioning, and I didn't know it. As long as I've known you now and how good of a friends we've been, I didn't know that about you. When Mo gave me a picture to put on social media promoting you coming on, the picture looked very deranged. It's almost like it's like one of those pictures where
I didn't alter it, by the way. I just took a picture.
Oh, it was great. It's like looking at you in that picture. It's like this is someone you don't want to close both eyes with if you try to go to sleep. You want to leave at least one eye open if she starts to walk your way, and that's the one that you want to be definitely afraid of.
I actually love that photo, and I think the funny thing about that photo, I think it was captured after I just won a match. So I mean that's me when I'm like happy about winning. You know,
that's it.
Look at that.
I love it.
Look at that wee face.
Oh yeah.
Sexy little face. Look at that angry wee sexy face.
I love it.
She's ferocious. She's feisty. She is sexy. She is NIKKI CROSS. Well, I just
there you go.
Got a question from Brian here. Is it hard for you and the hubby to wrestle on different brands?
No, I mean we when we met like in wrestling. We met where I was when 12 years ago when we started training at a wrestling school in Glasgow, me and the hubby. So for us, we went through this journey together, and we're very grateful of the way everything worked out, and the fact that we both worked for WWE in the timing worked out really well in terms of moving across to America. So for myself, we both kind of always understood that when it comes to this business, there is sacrifices that are going to be made, and there is times and there's going to be a lot of nights where we don't see each other. But to me, it's like, okay, let's do this now, and then when we're 60, we'll be able to like spend every night together watching, stupid old movies, So it's something that we always realized could be a reality. And we're grateful that there was a time where we were both in NXT together and worked together. So you kind of just have to be like, okay, well, we got to do that, so that's cool. And he's pushing, he's doing the work and I'm doing the work. So we're both happy for each other, and we're both like, as always, as long as you always make the time that you guys have together, I think as long as you make that quality and not quantity is like, if there's a bunch of donuts, then quantity is excellent. When it comes to setting aside time, I think as long as you spend that time wisely together, you put the phones away, and just sit together and just, chat, watch a movie, just always just make sure you make that time for each other.
Good advice. Dvon never did. That's why he's on like marriage 5. What are you on?
10? You're saying 10?
10. I'm trying to surpass Ric Flair.
Oh.
The only difference between me and Flair is I'm going to try not to get in trouble financially, so then that way I can at least have some money. I'm not like Flair. I don't have 9 lives. I can't sit there and continue to recuperate that money that I lost.
Nikki, let me ask you a question. I ask all of our guests this now in some form or another. Do pro wrestlers ever stay retired, and when will Dvon come back?
Oh God, here we go. I'm begging you.
Love it.
I feel that me and Dvon spoke about this really recently. I want to say we actually had this conversation maybe like last week or 2 weeks ago, Dvon, because I was curious and I asked Dvon. And based on the answer that Dvon gave me, I do believe that professional wrestlers can retire. And I believe that Dvon, from what he said to me, he seems very happy where he's at, and we'll see what happens in the future, but he seems very happy now. So I am all for, I'll be the mascot. I am all for like Dvon, coming back and doing like a mixed tag match with me and Alexa and Dvon versus 3 people. I'd be on board for that, and I'll support Dvon, but from what he said, based to me, he's happy where he's at. So. Well,
I will say this: if the opportunity arises, and I'm going to go on record in saying this, if there's a 3-way tag where it's 3 opponents on one side, Alexa, Nikki, and the third person would be Dvon. Yes! I would definitely come out of retirement to do it, and I guarantee you that will be the real meaning of 3D.
And honestly, in Dvon, we wouldn't even have to take any. All you would have to do is go get the table. We wouldn't even make you bump. Just get the table.
Hold on, we know who the Bubba of the group is. Dvon, just get the table. Well, the great part about it is that with Lexi and Nikki, being together as a unit, as a tag team, they are doing a form of 3D. And it's a great thing. And it was all in honor to me and Bubba for what we've done. And they came to me and asked me. And I said, absolutely. Yeah. I said, by all means, it would be an honor if you two would do that. Because again, I'll say this before. I said it with Alexa and I'll say it with Nikki. My 2 favorite is Nikki and Alexa. We are very good friends in and out of the ring. And the great thing about it is, there you go, girl. I would do the same thing if I had hair. If I do it too hard.
You're going to throw your neck out, Dvon. Watch out.
Yeah, who you telling? But the great thing about it is it was an honor and a privilege to see them go out there and to do that. And thank you so much for the tribute to me and Bubba. And again, I would not have any other else do it but you and Lexi.
No, and that we would never have we always would have asked you. We never would have done it without like your kind of blessing. And it's fun because if you notice, me and Lexi do it a little bit differently from Dvon and Bubba, and a huge part in helping us develop that technique was Dvon. You know, we put that together at the Performance Center, and so you'll see that we do it a little bit differently from Dvon and Bubba. You know, we try not to take away we don't take away from the original. The original is that, you know, we don't touch that. We leave that be. But we try and put our own little spin on it, and Dvon helped us. And I remember you were like telling Lexi how to like jump upright, and then I play your part in the double team. So you were teaching me how to do this part.
It was.
Like, why are you using one hand? Use two. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm super jacked.
And look, and the night that they did, they won the tag team titles. It was great. So therefore, now listen, now remind you, back in the day, in the 80s and the 90s, managers, it was a big deal for them to capture their people, to capture a title. And here it is. Dvon is 1-0 in terms of here it is helping the first tag team to do our maneuver, and they became tag team champions. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm a manager to the two without being physically on TV doing it. So therefore, kudos to my my people.
I mean, I don't see anyone else. I don't see any other tag teams, you know, with you being the manager. I don't see them. Where are they?
No, I don't know. I don't know where they are. Where can they be? They're nowhere around. They're gone. Don't see it.
One more question, then we know we got to let you go here. Where did Bliss Cross applesauce come from?
I don't even know how to tell this story.
Good.
Okay, so it was something that I'm actually going to do a disservice here, so I apologize in advance. It was something Lexi kept saying. Now, this might just be maybe the Scottish and American. Apparently it's a game. You guys play in the American playgrounds, like cross your legs or something. I don't know. I'd never heard of it before, like crisscross applesauce. I'd never heard of it. I thought it was a type of marmalade, maybe a type of jam, maybe a type of sauce. I don't know what to tell you. Oh, I don't know what to tell you. So she kept saying it, and I thought, oh, maybe she thinks we're like peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter. I don't know. So she kept saying that, and I was like, oh, okay. And like it's one of those like you're smiling, but you don't get it. You don't get it. You don't understand what's going on. So you're like, okay, yeah. And then our T-shirt came out, and it was like us doing the patty cake thing. Again, we call it something different in Scotland, but it's us doing the patty cake sitting cross-legged. And then I think that's when she explained to me, and like the penny dropped, and I was like, oh, okay. Because we just don't really have it. I don't know. We call it something different in Scotland. Like, I mean, we're trying not to fall over in Scotland. You know, we're just trying to do our best to not fall down.
What do you call it in Scotland?
Well, it's like, so you're skipping, right? Or like you're jumping crisscross and you're just trying not to fall over? No?
That's me every day.
I mean, kind of much that's me every day too. So I don't like. You'd have to ask Lexi how it came around because I don't really know. She said it once on Twitter, and people just really they dug it. And again, it's just you're smiling. You're like, okay, I don't get this, but I'm going to go with it.
I love it.
That's the thing. That's the thing. We talk about Dvon and the "What's Up" move with him and Bubba, and that he didn't expect that to grow. So you never know where the stuff comes from.
Yeah,
I remember people in my. Oh God, no! I shouldn't tell this. Actually, I don't want to. Okay, I'll tell it. I remember being in like primary 7, so it was like just the year before you get to high school, and the guys in my class, like every day after like a Raw or a SmackDown, they would come in and they kept doing like "What's Up," and they kept doing it to the teacher, and it was really funny, Dvon, like because it was in my school. It was like it was fine for a guy to like wrestling. If you were a girl who liked wrestling, it was seen as really, really weird. So I had to kind of keep it in and be like a closet wrestling fan. But the guys would always do it to each other, and I'm like, oh, I get the reference. I just want to join in. Because those weren't the standards back then.
This is great. See, we've been connected by the hip ever since. This is great. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Can you give us a what's up? Can you, like with your accent? I think that would sound amazing.
I'll just do it, and I'll end up just, what's up?
What that? What
Let me put my wine down.
Yeah. What
Did
that?
they not do it in Scary Movie too? The guy does it in Scary
Mhm.
Movie.
Yeah, he does it in
They
Scary
do,
Movie
yeah.
as well.
Yes.
Love it. Love it.
I hope you get a cut of that, Dvon. I hope you get a cut of that Scary Movie.
Oh, trust me, I'm looking in on it now. My lawyers are jumping in on it because I have been neglected for many, many years. I think time is right.
Oh,
Time is right. If it wasn't for the Dudley Boys, What's Up wouldn't be around. Oh, well, Nikki, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been an honor and a
Oh,
pleasure. You have been a delight in and out of the ring. And of course, this interview, we had to cap it off. We started off with your tag team partner, Lexi, and now we're ending it with you. And again, two of my favorites. We love you and thank you so much, darling.
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 No, thank you so much for having me, guys. Hopefully I can come on again in the future. And just thank you for your time and like making it super fun and
Sure. That's what we're all about. Yeah.
Rolling.
Oh man.
Thank you, Nikki.
Thank you so
guys. Have a
much.
good day.
Bye-bye.
You too.
Fantastic. This was a great table talk.
That was so fun.
Yes, it was.
I was just like awestruck the whole time. I mean, I feel like I am with all of our guests, but that was really fun.
All right. Now, we got a few more minutes left before we officially wrap up this show here. I think we do need to capitalize on what we promised last week, where I actually had a lot of people after the show last week say they're really looking forward to Dvon Mansplains.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
I kid you not. People are excited about this.
So you want me to explain how to manscape?
No.
No.
You know, when a guy over-explains to a female about stuff, and we had said that you were going to do Dvon Mansplains how hot dogs are made.
Oh, okay. Well, sure. Now, Lindsey, I'm going to say this because you're the young lady that I'm going to be talking to, and that I can see eye to eye. So I want you to get real close, and I want you to understand what I'm about to tell you. Okay. Here's the deal. You want to take an animal, and you want to use the important parts of that animal. But when you use those important parts, you're still going to have some parts left over, if you know what I mean. Sometimes they're good. Sometimes they're bad. Sometimes they're mediocre. But the parts that you think that are great, you can kind of jumble them in together with those that are mediocre. Take a little bit of the bad, because we always need bad. You put that together. And when you do, sometimes it can come out very, very long.
Oh.
Sometimes it can come out very short. But in my knowledge and what I've been recognizing is that a lot of people, especially certain species, would rather it be very long.
Yes.
So when you have a hot dog, think about it. You don't want a mini one. You want a large one, correct?
Depends what we're in the mood for. And also, what are we talking about again?
We're talking about the explaining of hot dogs and
How
the
they're
extra meat.
Mo,
and,
can you help me?
and,
I need
and,
some help
and
here.
how what? I'm trying to explain it the right way so that way you don't get confused, Lindsey. See, this is why
I am always confused. Keep going. I don't understand.
This is great. Would you like me to keep going?
Yes, please.
Because I can.
If it makes you happy.
So here's the deal. When you have that hot dog and it's at that perfect size, what you can do, including the bun length, exactly, it has the meat in between. It's a perfect fit. So what you do
Mhm.
is you open up very wide because you never know how wide it can be. Sometimes it's very small, and then sometimes it's very wide.
Okay.
Sometimes they call that the big sausage, the big kahuna, the big everything.
Okay. Is that
And
what they
when you
call it?
yes, and then you could
Okay.
put all sorts of ingredients on top. But the great part
Like
about it
what?
is, well, it
Hmm.
just all depends on you. But now here's the greatest part of it all. When you bite into that, you can feel the juices just come in and kind of drip down your mouth because it's so good. And you can continue, but don't wipe. Don't wipe. Because if you do, then you won't really gravitate to how good and tasty it could be. You like that?
That's not how I eat hot dogs, but whatever.
It all depends. It all depends on that individual.
Next week. Next week.
Next week, I tell you what, to the fans out there, you tell me what you want me to say and how you want me to do it, and I'll do it, and it'll be on. It'll be
Is it to
on.
my reaction?
Oh, it's to your reaction. It's to your reaction.
I think
Okay.
the closer we can get to absolutely creeping Lindsey out, the better the mansplaining segments will be.
Mansplaining will be so good when I'm done with all of this. Trust me.
I will know so much that I never wanted to know about.
And
Oh
Lindsey,
no,
start thinking about what segment you can do to get back at us.
I'm gonna need help.
Yeah.
you're gonna need major help.
I'm gonna need
because
help. If you have anything, recommendations, at me.
It's not gonna happen because we're gonna keep
No.
rolling. Keep rolling.
No, but seriously, guys, if you're watching this right now and you have any idea at me of how I can get back at these two,
Hey, Robert's having a hot dog now just because I explained what it was all
enjoy,
about.
Robert. Enjoy your hot dog.
Enjoy that juice just popping
How's
out.
that bun?
Enjoy that meat in your mouth, Robert.